Okay,
Yes, please.
shoot.
Okay. I I I was raising my hand, but I just noticed that you guys couldn't see me, so I just remember that. Question is, who is the NFT master in Star Atlas?
uh,
who would I have to talk to ask the questions to set up a NFT for Star Horizons? Who is the master?
huh. So I don't think we have something like that, like NFT master. But I feel like it shouldn't be hard for you to create an NFT for your guild. I know that a lot of guilds have done this. I saw some collections from the Bounty Bar. I
Atlas,
saw that
right?
Atlassian is doing their own NFT collection. I saw the club dropping NFTs to their members, and there's more. So maybe reach out to them to see how they've done it. I'm sure that everyone will be willing to help.
All right, so I guess the Bounty Bar, the profits, the club. I'm getting those answers. It seems to be the group of
Yeah,
people.
Atlassian family.
Mo-
Also, Google helps. Like, it's not that hard as you might think, you know. There's like
Mhm.
tools and orgs and stuff like who can help you. Like, try Metaplex on Solana.
It's I created NFT once for my art, and that was it. That's all I have done. I just wanted to see how it's done with games, get some insights, and maybe I don't intend to become an expert. I just want to know. I just want to talk to a couple experts and see how they sound, right? Ask them a couple questions. Maybe invite them to a conversation I'm putting together next week.
Awesome. We can direct
Interesting
you to
announcement now.
the community members that work there, like the guys from the club and Atlasio and the other guilds. And on the Star Atlas side, maybe if you want to send the questions beforehand, because our devs are so full of work right now, we could direct them to them. So yeah, we can help like that.
Yeah, I just want to become knowledgeable about it. I don't have a PhD in software development or blockchain, DeFi. I just want to understand it and be able to enjoy it as I play Star Atlas. I'm more of a gamer, not much of a developer. Even though I,
Yes,
I do like technology. Yeah,
this
kind of
is
figures.
awesome, man. Yeah, you'll find lots of knowledge and content on the development side here in the community as well. So you don't have to worry about that. The guys will guide you on your journey.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of knowledgeable. I think a lot of people are developers, especially because it's just the crowd that Star Atlas attracts. A lot of programmers, a lot of developers, very creative minds. I'm very impressed with the community. Yes, that includes you, Santi. Yes, I don't want to leave you out. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. We have the
Yeah, we
best
have a very
community.
talented community. That's for sure. That's for sure. So, yeah, let's kick things off. What do you think, guys? I just posted the announcement. Maybe some more people will join. But yeah, it's someone recording just in case because I know
Yep.
that.
Yep.
Okay, nice, 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 nice. So let's kick off the Star Atlas Brew number 6. Today we're going to speak about lore. So there are different places to find lore in Star Atlas, being the main place the river posters. So we are going to go through the river posters today, and also what we want to do is to theorycraft, as always. That's what we love to do in the brew. To theorycraft about Star Atlas lore and different ideas that you guys may have about the Star Atlas lore, just to share with us and see what you think. And I know that also Jose has some cool things prepared for us. And also, right now, we can start with something cool for you guys. What do you think, Jose? So, should we do it now or?
Oh my God, Santi.
Let's
You know,
do it.
guys,
Leaks, leak.
I
Yes.
have been having problems
Leak.
holding my note beak, because Well, I guess I'm the weakest link of the team members in regarding spilling the lore and the alpha, and I'm like, oh my god, I want to tell the guys and show them how cool the world of Star Atlas is unfolding to be, man. And I'm like, oh my god, guys, we need to show them.
And then they say it's and then they say it's a crappy NFT game.
Yeah.
Man, man, man.
Hey,
Santi,
Santi, could you possibly just explain what lure is to anybody that hasn't heard it, like that isn't familiar with it, maybe before you guys start digging into
Yeah,
it?
for sure. Yeah, lore is basically the story, the history of the game. In this case, the history of Star Atlas. Like we are in the year 2621, actually, because we have already been 1 year in development. So we are in this year, and the lore is what tells us how we got here into this stage right now. So that's mainly it. It's the storytelling of Star Atlas. If anyone has any better
and this
explanation than me, just feel free to
this is
chime in.
also an explanation, Santi, and this is also something very, very important for our conversation today. Remember the date that Santi just said, because it's really important for the Star Atlas lore as a whole. You see, guys, the idea here today is to bring awareness about a really important side of the gameplay of Star Atlas. You know, as the proposal of Star Atlas tells everyone who reads the economical or the white paper, Star Atlas is about bringing knowledge, bringing awareness, and bringing different play styles of different perspectives and different gameplay styles into life inside a really rich environment. And of course, we have people that loves lore, loves history, and in most games they are neglected. You know, like when you find an MMORPG, it's hard to come by in an MMORPG where the lore is an important factor, like something that's really relevant and something that might even be a real play style where you can grow and find fulfillment in. And in Star Atlas, we are thinking about really creative ways to enjoy this and share this with you guys and create this kind of mechanics to you. And I'm really not allowed to say more, but we are allowed to discuss the underlying line of thought, if we may
NDA.
say it like that, about what we are envisioning so far, and to grab feedback from you guys and send it to the team. And one of the really cool alphas that I would like to drop today is that we are getting the head writer from Star Atlas to come to the Atlas Brew in the near future. So yeah,
Oh
you guys
yeah.
will got to talk with him. He's
Hell
an
yeah.
awesome guy. He's very, very known in the industry. And yeah, I don't want to spoil this anymore because otherwise the boss will nut me out. But yeah, guys, this will be cool, and you can wait for Lore Part 2 in the Atlas Brew in a not so far away
Yeah.
future.
We
But you guys
have
know,
also something
sorry, Saint.
else. I just can't contain myself, man.
Yes, we need to deliver, man. We need to drop, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's
yeah.
We are
go.
the rebels.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just have it here and I want to do it.
It's here.
It's here. So, yeah, we need, guys, we need to reach those 2022 retweets on
Help
Twitter.
us, guys.
We need,
Help us.
Why?
we need. I will send a picture now of the
Oh
clip.
my god. Oh my god.
I managed to get a screenshot of the clip. Don't ask
Ooh,
me how.
Naughty Saint.
No, don't
How?
ask
kind
me
of
how,
based.
but I will
Where is
share
it?
it right now on the Atlas
I'm
Brew
look.
channel.
I'm looking at it. Where did it go?
Wait a second, wait a second. I'm trying
How?
to build the suspense here,
Yeah,
man.
man. We need
Yeah,
someone,
yeah, yeah.
man.
You're trying
Yeah,
to build
help
the
us here.
suspense.
Come on.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
hard.
Come
You guys
on.
can't imagine how hard it is for us to get any
Watch it
approval
be
to
like
show you
Star
guys stuff.
Citizen. I'm betting
I'm,
about
I'm,
one Ethereum. It's 1-star citizen.
It's a
I
sin.
think
It's it's a sin to mention any other name in a Star Atlas meeting, right?
the graphics
You're
look the
right, Bohemian.
same.
You're right, Bohemian. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
posting it right now. I want everybody to be in the Atlas Brew. This is just a screenshot of the clip, but it will give you like a sense on what it is.
What channel, Santi?
The Atlas Brew channel.
Oh.
Oh my
Screenshot
god.
it. Saving this. I'm making this an NFT.
That's a huge
We'll
ship.
Guys,
remember that we have
Yeah,
2
that ship is
minutes of
huge.
footage in that video, guys. This is just a screenshot.
guys,
Wait,
Yeah,
guys,
that's cool.
I'll go through. Let me just go through my process of seeing this picture that Santi just shared with you guys. You know, because the video starts and it starts like, okay, it's the showroom, and then we start walking, and we walk really for a really long time, and I was like, oh, and then I was like, oh, and I was like, what? And I
Wow.
was like, oh my god, huge. And then it turns around and I was like, nope, nope, what the fuck? So yeah, guys, the world built in Star Atlas is becoming really beautiful. It's like, oh my god, man, I got chills all over my body. Let's disclose this. The community needs to see. And I was like, and the boss was like, no, stop doing that. We can't do that. You know that. And I was like, okay, boss.
Don't tell anyone that you got this leak, guys. We
Yes,
screenshot
please.
this for you.
Well, it's too
Yeah.
late. I'm going to make a
I don't
video out of it.
I don't
Too
see
No,
it.
No,
Where
late.
is it?
Shit,
fuck,
I already
fuck
sent
this
it on
guy.
social media. Oh, you
I'll
should have
do it.
no,
said that
no.
before, Santi. It's already on social media. Ah, too late,
Where
Santi.
Already? I was
Too
about to
late.
make that an NFT worth about 10 Ethereum.
No, don't do it.
Just,
No, man,
just
please help us.
what? No one is gonna
Help
buy
us
it.
help you guys, please. Okay,
The NFTs
Just
you
are
to
guys know
unstoppable.
clarify,
that. You guys
does
know
anyone
that
Nobody's
know
gonna
what
buy a
NFT it is?
screenshot.
you guys are our favorites here. You guys are
It,
passionate
it,
members in the Atlas Brew. So we try our best to bring the alpha here. So yeah, it's a we need to stick together, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Because if
say
me
that
and
to
Tate
all the
gets fired,
gamers.
no more alphas. As simple as that.
where is the picture though? I can't see it. Which
It
room
is
is
in
it?
the Atlas Brew channel. You just need to scroll up a little bit.
If you Google it, you'll probably find it now. It's out there somewhere now.
No.
It's on Twitter, I can
Please
tell you
don't.
that.
But yeah, guys, the cool thing is
We need to
that
reach the retweets.
Yeah, I
yeah,
know
man,
nobody
we need
likes the retweet thing, but just trust us. Get the retweets.
yeah,
I
man.
know it's a
Like
pain in the ass, but we'll get it. And it's really worth it.
yeah, guys, it's
It
two
is.
minutes of a
But
really
I have a true
beautiful
question here. How much
showroom.
FPS did you
I
get
think
on
it's
this?
the O part, that picture.
We are not allowed to disclose to say that's true or is it not.
Well, it is.
You're not even allowed to
You
say the
take your own
FPS?
conclusions, and then we need to move on. We need to move on, Santi,
It's gonna
because we
vary
need
on your
to talk
machine.
about
It's not gonna be the same for
law.
you as the other guy, right?
RTX 3070 gaming?
Yeah, but not
Okay,
everybody
I'm
has that.
sharing the tweet on the Atlas Brew. Go retweet, guys. Go retweet. We need that. Just imagine 2 minutes of that.
It's beautiful, guys. It's like the showroom is really beautiful, and it turns, it's growing and it's becoming even more robust, filled with life in forms of machine of death. So, yeah, it's cool, guys.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
after all
that's a pretty good
this,
screenshot.
yeah,
Since it's a
I managed to
machine,
get a good one. I managed to get a good one,
Yeah,
guys.
you can just tell by the detail in it. Like it's vague because they haven't like painted the actual like detail of the ship yet, but you can tell once that's done, it's gonna look amazing on anybody's computer. I don't think it matters what you're running because of the architecture of UE5.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's all
Amazing.
we can say.
Okay,
Yeah,
we need to move on, guys. We need to move
yeah.
on because we have a
Let's move.
mission here. We have a mission,
Yeah,
Santi. We
we
need
have.
Yeah, I want to
to
know.
gather impressions and knowledge and feedback from the community on the topics that we're gonna discuss with our head writer on the next lore meeting here in Atlas Brew.
Yes,
So
Is
yeah,
question. I have a question. Is the head writer listening to us right now?
probably.
Maybe.
I can't confirm or deny this statement.
If
Even
he
Conti
was
I'm
the
a
says
head
it.
trained
writer,
newt. I won't
he
fall
would
Yeah,
be
for bait.
listening.
He is listening
Welcome, head
likely,
writer.
very likely.
Yeah,
We can have to assume
writers
that.
are very sneaky. Sneaky writer.
Okay,
Sneaky.
so let's go and start by our quest through the intriguing lore of Star Atlas. And as Santi just hinted, our journey starts with the Rebirth poster series. We have 15 different posters that shares, let us say, the canon of Star Atlas so far. Santi just posted the link in the Atlas Brew chat, so whoever wants to follow our line of thought will go through them and start making comments on it, and then we'll move on to a next phase where I speak with you guys about some details that we are looking into while building the world lore of Star Atlas, and then we will proceed for some theory crafting, some hot topics inside the lore system, and you guys will provide me with your theories. I will laugh at them because I can't confirm or deny anything, and then we'll move on to ask, write our questions and our impressions to the head writer who will come and talk with us about it in our next opportunity. So without delay, let us go to our journey. A journey which starts in the discovery of Iris. So guys, the main stuff in Star Atlas is the diamond at the center of the galaxy, which is Iris, the rogue planet, dense with invaluable materials, drawing and collides with seven child planets in a remote region of space, creating what is henceforth referred as to the Cataclysm. This is something really interesting, guys, and for many reasons, and we can connect this with lots of points of Star Atlas uh, produced material, if we may say it like that. This is the place in the gaming structure that will find the highest quality of resources. It's at the very center of the Star Atlas map, and it's protected by a very curious race of, how do I say it, since you are the expert in the Tufa, like Hawk, the Scourge of Cataclysm, the Hawk, uh, partially Hawk, partly Iron race of the Tufas. And this ancient race is there, living the very edge of this planet, and who knows what they are doing that, right? Maybe they feed on the energy of Iris, maybe they protect something that's inside the planet, or maybe they are trying to keep us away from the valuable resources that comes from the planet. And
I have
yes,
heard crazy theories about Tufa people. I've heard a lot of crazy theories about them.
well, tell us, Santi, what you heard.
So there are like conspirative theories about them, which says that
Hmm.
they are really protecting the whole Star Atlas because what happens if you get into the cataclysm zone? You don't know. It may destroy the whole galaxy. You don't know. That's just like a theory of one of the craziest, actually, on why
Yeah,
Tufas are around the cataclysm.
this is actually a really interesting theory, and maybe it might be the main mystery which will revolves the entire lore of Star Atlas. Like, there is a reason that this is the poster number one, right, guys? So yeah, we'll actually see lots of things comes from Iris. And
You, It
It's
was their home planet. Is that you saying? It was their home planet, Santi?
The home
well,
planet of the Tufas, you mean?
Yes.
I don't think that it was that
yeah,
actually.
we don't know that actually. We know
Yeah,
that
we don't know.
Iris is the place where seven planets crashed and gave birth to a new kind of energy source. So far, this is the only information that we have, and that these debris of this shock between planets created massively valuable resources.
Yeah,
And then
and
we proceed
in
to
the
the
just let me
sorry, Santi.
interrupt you for the last time, man. Like you
Okay.
see in the cataclysm in the picture that we shared that there are a lot of asteroids there. So one of them, I'm sure, that is probably a Tufa feast. I have no doubts about that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, yeah, Santi. Yeah, I wasn't aware now, but as you said, yeah, absolutely makes sense. Maybe the
Makes sense
Tufa
to me,
was
man.
born from the collision. Who knows?
Who knows?
Is there a ship in there?
Maybe. Do
I
you know
see
the
a
Tufa
ship.
feast?
I see a ship on that arc. I do. I see a ship in there.
Yeah, that is a
So
ship.
Me.
so there's a ship in there. So, the theory of keeping everybody out, either that is a tufa and not a ship, or that is a ship that got in.
There
And
is
that
definitely
theory
a
is
ship.
wrong.
If you view the AR for Discovery of Iris, you can actually see the ship flying in. So if you watch it a few times, you'll definitely notice that.
Yeah, and this
Yeah.
actually comes together with the Atlas poster number 2, the heart of Star Atlas. At the core of Star Atlas lies a treasure trove of priceless data. After an unsuspecting deep space explorer discovers the cataclysm, he scans its reaches, reaching what will once be known as the first intergalactic data block. He sells this invaluable information to all three rival factions, igniting a little spark that forever changed the course of history. So yes, guys, the guy, aside from the minerals, aside from everything that's happening in the cataclysm in Iris, the biggest treasure is information. And this, my friends, is really important for the Star Atlas universe and gameplay. There is a reason why Michael says that exploration is one of the most anticipated and developed feature that we plan in Star Atlas. Information is key. Information is power in real life and in Star Atlas as well. It was information that triggered the war that ends up changing the course of everything that happens in Star Atlas.
When do we
And
find out who this guy is, or girl, or being? Or
Patience Padawan, maybe you'll discover today, but I guess, no, no, I guess we don't. I don't think his name goes into the posters, but we got to see him.
Maybe it's
Uh,
Santi.
maybe it was me.
Maybe it's your mom.
Oh my god, man.
Okay.
Chill,
Hey, can
man.
we
Let's be
can we
mature
can
here.
we
We're trying to have
yeah
a constructive
Yeah, man.
conversation, not
Yeah.
a.
Yeah, please,
try to be
Alexei.
respectful, please.
Okay, guys. And then the next poster of lore is the Convergence War, where all three factions thinking, and the guy who actually found the data in the in the in Iris actually was kind of smart because he sold it to every single faction in Starat, like the three main ones, and he didn't tell the others that he sold them. You know, so we can ask here some sort of motivation on the side of this guy. Why he did that? It was only for
money?
profit. Yeah, or maybe he had another idea breathing in his mind. Who are his alliances? Who is he aligned to? What was he doing? Was he alone?
Those are all good questions,
What,
man.
what was his species? I forgot.
You don't know. We
We
don't
don't
know.
know. We have no idea. We don't. Well, we keep on kind of referring to him as a male. We don't even. Does it actually say that it was a? It just says it was an explorer, correct?
Yes.
Hold on,
Yes.
hold on. Alien species have male and female. What is that? Gender should not exist in the alien species. Why do we have to base it on humanoids?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly.
you're right.
We don't.
You're right.
Where is the head writer?
Yeah. He's not here, but
I
yeah,
want. Yes, he is. He is listening. Pay attention. Write that one down.
But
yeah.
I yet to
Write
see it.
that one
I'm
down.
sure. I'm sure that he's aware that you try to bait him on showing himself. But yeah, I'll tell you that this is actually one of the things that I'll talk about later.
But
I let it slip because I didn't want to bring awareness to this topic right now. I want to go through all the everything that we have here to talk about, and then we'll go for a more, deep investigation, if we may say it like that. So I just trying to raise some awareness about some topics here, and then we'll go full deep mode. Like, yeah, we'll talk about things like that, like genders and alien logic and stuff like that. Stick with me, friends. Stick with me. And then, guys, it's really interesting because we have this line about the start of the war here that ends up in poster number 3, and something different happens in poster number 4. A short story of a lost astronaut. He thought it would be just another routine exploration mission. Get there, scan, save data blocks, and return. But when a surprise radiation storm knocked out his spaceship and swept him into his high-velocity current, the only thing that saved him from certain doom was his custom ion shield. This is a really interesting story because it seems out of, place, coming from three lore, heavily focused lore. This small story comes in like number 4, which actually represents, I don't know, maybe the lost astronaut is someone important for the main plot of Star Atlas. And
Can,
what
can
happened
I
over
interject here slightly? Um,
here?
I was quite fortunate in finding some unfinished lore prior to this poster being released. Obviously, I
Ooh,
didn't make mention of it to everybody because clearly that wasn't what the team wanted. So then I've basically noticed the slight change in the final release version compared to what was written at the time. And all I'm going to say is the trailer links into this.
Okay.
That's all I'm going
hmm,
to say on it.
this
So I
is
let
it.
people kind of explore that for themselves. But if you haven't watched the trailer again recently, rewatch it, read the story, see if you can find the link.
Could you be more
Yes,
specific? Which trailer are you referring to? Are you talking about the original?
The full trailer release from Star Atlas.
Okay,
yes.
thanks for
And
that.
what link? What link should we be looking for?
So if you read just in terms of short story of a lost astronaut, one of the questions that sparked my mind straight away, and just as you perfectly said, why this may seem a bit out of place in the story, why has it been put in here? Who is this astronaut? What's his importance to the actual game lore? So who is he? Afterwards we don't really hear mention of him, but if you watch the
After
trailer,
that,
you may create a certain link, or where the mention of this astronaut comes up again potentially.
Yeah, I know the reference you're talking about, but I'm not gonna spoil it for everybody.
yeah, you guys are starting the theory
And
crafting, guys. I love
I
this,
love
man.
it.
I
Yeah.
And
didn't
this is the
realize it
purpose
till
of
you just
this
said it.
stuff. Okay, okay, okay.
I could
Let's
live with it, but now someone said that they're not going to tell us, so now I cannot live with it.
Why can't
Thank
you
you very
live with
much,
it?
whoever that was.
It was Balderon, but why can't you live with it?
no, I
Secrets, secrets, secrets poison you. Don't keep it to yourself.
No, secrets are the valuable source of everything.
Yeah, guys, and yeah, I wanted to bring awareness about why would Star Atlas do something like that. And yes, there is a purpose to everything that we do and how everything is released. And yes, you can find lots of alphas and future stuff that will come in the project by, taking our time to investigate some stuff.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite topics regarding this matter is the next two posters. They are simply awesome. It's the story of Paizu. Paizu, the charismatic and brilliant leader of the Oni consortium. Vividly recalls the first time she saw her one true love. It was a warm summer day, full of raging ionic storms. Where I heard that before. Lightning was piercing the sky as Becalo took off his helmet and looked eyes with her. What are the chances of nearly colliding with someone flying through these wastelands on a day like this? He smiled, and with his booming voice, which looked just like Santis, said, "Perhaps it's destiny." She smiled back mysteriously. There was another strike of lightning, but this time the sky remained calm. I like this poster a lot, guys. I like this poster a lot, and this poster has a really interesting reference to one feature that was released. I don't remember if it was last year or this year, but it's interesting. I don't know if someone in the crowd knows, and if you do, please don't tell, let people investigate. Not. And then we move on very quickly for the next because it's a sad, really sad poster which says the assassination of Paizo. Suffering one of the cruelest fates in the universe, the Somnomian race of aliens was driven to the brink of extinction. With only 10,000 members left, they put all hope of salvation in the hands of their leader, Paizo, after she was assassinated in a gruesome public way. So much fear was struck in the hearts of survivors that they set out to build their last stand. This is a really important piece of lore for Star Atlas, guys. Like Paizo was is really important for everything that happens before the initial year of when we players join Star Atlas, and this assassination has several consequences for the world of Star Atlas as it's forged nowadays. Like one of the main and most evident one is the building of the last stand. It was like the Titan ship, the original Titan ship that we are aware of. And
Yes.
you guys will see that in the next posters, the effects of a Titan ship. And it also brings some awareness to us about how Titan ships will actually function when we have our full game. So let's go for the next step for
Yeah.
investigation.
Just
You want?
if
Yes,
someone
please.
didn't understand it, like the last stand is the name of the Titan ship in Star Atlas. So basically, Paisul, the assassination of Paisul made that happen, and that's why PG said on the Atlas route that Paisul is the reason of Titans. That I don't know if she is literally the reason, but it's the reason why the Sognian race built their Titan.
Yeah, and it's really interesting the name Last Stand because yeah, when you call something the Last Stand, it means that you are willing to die doing something. And I'll let that sink and we'll go continue to the next birth poster. Paizu funeral procession. The sound of wailing echoes across the plains. The Sonamian procession solemnly marches in steps past their ancestors' gravestones, still haunted by the fate of their leader. The sun begins to set as they bring Paizu's cryopod at the top of the Rock of Light. As a being of light consumes the pod to upload it to eternal rest with the ancients, Pekalu falls to his knees with a wrathful roll. The crowd is rattled to the core, a forbidding all things to come. Yeah, guys, you can imagine that he wasn't happy at all, you know. And yeah, you see that it's actually really interesting to watch how the story starts progressing now. Because, we also need to be aware that the time is a factor here, We don't know the time lapse between each of those posters. And this is something really interesting to watch for when we consider the whole scheme of things in Star Atlas, especially the poster, let me see, that will come after the next one. It's
Can
really
we? Can I just interject with that one slightly, because we all hopefully know, or at least after this, hopefully people will, appreciate how important law is, and how powerful it is to, the entire story. Well, it is the actual story, the foundation, the bedrock, of the whole game, and so forth. Um, and I know we're way past rebirth and so forth, but I remember raising it with Santi at the time that this was the introduction to the lore of the game, but maybe certain aspects were missed with the release of each poster. For example, Paisl's funeral procession. When you read the description, it tells you, the pain of the Sogmian race, the pain of Bakalu, him howling. But when you view the AR, the soundscape just does not go with the story. It just seems like a happy, goofy kind of thing. And for me, it just it just takes away from that moment, which is supposed to be so powerful and so deep, and it just makes it light and like it just doesn't link. It doesn't drive that thing home. It just kind of detracts from it completely.
Sorry, I guess I lost midway, Sanrail. What was the contradiction that you declared?
Sorry, so sorry, I'll start again. The AR with PFP, with Paisl's funeral procession.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you read the description, you understand the pain and everything, in that moment. But when you view it via AR, the soundscape just doesn't translate that moment. If you listen to the actual soundscape, it's just very happy, very like it comes a bit across as a bit kitschy, a bit kind of jokey. It's so far detracted from the story that the poster and the description is telling.
Yeah. This. Oh my God, man. Yeah, you have a very how can I put it? Oh my God, I'm getting near the board where I start spilling alpha here. So and this is actually really interesting because
Let's
it's
try to keep
hard.
our jobs, Jose.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, you can blame me. Say I made you do it.
But
No,
wait, we
man.
want to know everything. We want to know everything.
Man, what can I say, Santi? I can say that there is a reason for
Okay.
that.
Santi, you can move in with me if you give me everything.
Yeah,
Oh
I
man.
can tell you that there is a reason for your observation. Your observation is really smart observation, and yes, and I can't go further because it would be bad for my health and my family's health to spill this out. So
Yeah.
let's go and keep going. And there's something really strange that happens just after the procession of Paisum. R
Yes.
visits Earth. Humankind is visited by R, a mystery being of pure light, but not always as it seems. For through the power of illusion, we are tricked into forming a space-based religion, plundering the planet and launch ourselves towards the stars, permanently leaving the Earth.
I,
Man,
I took that as being
yes,
God.
please.
is this God or human thought he was God or this species was God, right?
Humans thought she or
Ooh,
he or
yeah.
this alien was
Well,
God.
I'd like to interject there. Was it all humans, or only the ones who became mud? But I'll go into that afterwards when we theory craft a little bit.
Oh,
They
Yeah,
killed the
you
other
have a
ones that
point.
did not believe in
this
God,
is actually
right? They killed
something
all the
really.
other ones.
I think they may have done that themselves.
Kind of a
Hmm.
type of crusade between humans.
I think maybe they became a bit fanatical, and that fanatical regime kind of is your mud faction kind of today. But like I said, I'm sure we can go into more depths when we get to the theory crafting stage of this voice chat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you the head writer?
No, unfortunately.
He disappeared all of a sudden.
Yeah, it was so specific, right? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
joke.
I
Suhail
know.
knows,
I know
man.
him now.
Suhail
I,
knows.
I just like
What
to push controversy wherever I go. That's all it is.
Yeah, and it is awesome because I would like to point out that I don't know, guys. I don't know what about you, but we see lots of coincidences in Star Atlas, right? Like as if things were being directed somehow. Not sure. Not sure. Okay, and then after this, our visit Earth, we see the last stand. Their Titan-class warships served as a fortified city to protect them, built in retaliation for the decimation of their species and the slaying of their leader. The Sohanian behemoth was a galactic alpha predator. This weapon of war was so intimidating it caused the other factions to encourage peace talks. Isn't he precious, guys? You
I
know,
Yes.
have a
like
problem with this. I have a problem.
that was
Okay.
your problem.
Yes. How would the other factions allow this minor faction at that time um, build such a weapon in secrecy without them knowing? It's impossible. It would be impossible unless what they were sleeping.
As a
Yeah,
minor faction, they were on Earth. They weren't being paid attention to. They were a minor faction.
yeah, and I would like to point out that humanity was just visited by R
Yeah.
in the last
Or they
postscript.
teamed up with Tufa.
Hmm.
Well, I think a good point
Mm,
that made at the start was we don't know about the timelines. So we've got the
Yeah,
posters where we're assuming this is a chronological order. And now, if
yeah,
it is, we
actually.
don't know how much time, you know, is between each moment.
Yeah, and
But
space can
just
be
the
very
size of the
different.
project. I'm sorry. Just the size of the project. Just imagine the number of entities involved in the construction of such a weapon will not have gone unnoticed, regardless of how small of a minor faction. Uh, that is the what passes through my mind initially.
I
Yeah,
guess you could
But didn't that happen in
argue.
a? I'm sorry.
Sorry, yeah. You could maybe argue that, well, if we talk about mud, for example, okay, they've only created a technology to, launch into space, but it doesn't mean that their full technological prowess has been achieved at that point. So whilst they may be in space, they may just have rudimentary kind of, you know, abilities. Whereas Oni, for example, the Sogmian race, they've been living in space for far longer. So have that technology. It's just that they've pooled the last of their resources together. And it's more so a thing of desperation, isn't it? Um, they've basically clearly been. It's not just a simple thing of Paisal being assassinated. They've clearly been targeted. A lot more. So and through desperation, people can achieve mind-boggling things.
And I don't remember the whole story, but I watched that Eve Online thing about the wars, and they talked about a Titan that was being built in secrecy for a long time by one of the guilds.
yeah,
Hmm.
and maybe we'll learn more about that when we have some clarifications about
Yeah,
the
obviously there's plenty of gaps to fill there. I mean,
yeah,
during that period of
Absolutely.
time and how it happened. Maybe there were attacks. Maybe they tried to destroy it. Maybe they built two. They did destroy one, but the other one managed to get through. So many variations there. I leave the
Yeah,
head writer freedom, yeah, to do.
yeah, absolutely. And then just after the completion of The Last Stand, we see the signing of the peace treaty. All three factions leaders signed the Treaty of Peace and established the Galactic Council of Peace (COP). The treaty establishes the open sharing of all scanned data of space on a light-speed intergalactic blockchain. The data includes fleet movements, installations and resource discoveries. An era of peaceful trading is ushered, and the economies of all factions boom simultaneously. This is really interesting, guys, because this also has impacts in the world of Star Atlas that we'll basically be living in. And aside from the obvious implications about the treaty PC, the piece of treat, we have also the sharing of data. And this will be actually a thing in Star Atlas. And it will drive most of the data exploring and data scanning industry in the game. We we envision it to be this way at the moment. And yeah, we'll see lots of cool stuff coming from the treaty in itself. Then we have the Peacebringers Archive, which is a really nice poetry, by the way. At dawn they laid their souls to rest, battle scars long washed away. Chains of metal, flesh and bones, at last broken, turned to dust today. Ships and shields were shattered, words were torn asunder, yet in their darkest hour the cry of peace triumphed over thunder. Two honorable leaders Amiel Ekalu, the husband of Paizo, and Sharon, signatories of the Galactic Peace Treaty, passed away on the day of the 50th anniversary of the treaty signing. Yeah, the universe is at peace. And then we have three more posters, and we have the first poster focused on the Usto Race, which is a really cool piece of lore, in my opinion. We'll have lots of lore driven to the Usto, focused on them because I believe they have such a crazy orange star that opens up space for lots of theory crafting and world building. And the poster goes as the Ustur are a race of androids spawned by an advanced multi-generational artificial intelligence, who sought to express themselves through physicalized form. They are mechanical beings with a developed sense of identity, culture, and fashion. Their anatomy articulates in a relatable way to organic substrate beings to convey demeanor and to emote. They enjoy establishing bonds with all intelligent life and satisfying higher spiritual exploration. Yeah, we have this very
Question:
cool
do they
story.
have a king?
They have what?
Oh,
Do they have a king? The Ustur, do they have a king?
No, we
King.
do not.
Sure they do.
they
Well,
have army elder.
Well, because there's a self-proclaimed king of the Ustur, and I just want to
yeah, man.
track down the lore with the living daylights. Think he get that?
Yeah, man. Usto King is really nice guy, and this is actually something really interesting because we might see kings in the in Star Atlas. Like if you have enough power in terms of police, you can vote yourself into become a king inside the universe of Star Atlas. And
Show me your wallet, kind of a deal.
yeah, yeah, maybe you'll see people striving to become kings and or emperors in Star Atlas. Well, I'll leave this thought and we'll go for the next poster, where we talk about Photoli. The Photolis. Guys, I don't trust those wind chimes, man. I don't know. Well, let's see what the poster says. The Photoli race are highly advanced aliens of light. Their natural state is navigating the universe in the form of light energy. Their ability to maintain a corporeal form with amorphous anatomical shapes and halos conveys expressions to other species. During galactic explorations, they are known to be confused with deities by more primitive civilizations. One Photoli Rogue Scout in particular played a pivotal role in advancing humankind to the stars. Oh man. And finally, the last poster, and most ominous one, I guess. The first to arrive at the universe's next frontier is the first to knock on the gates of prosperity. Usto Race. And here, guys, we finish our revision on the lore that was released about Star Atlas at the moment. And I'll share a bit about what we are thinking in terms of lore developing. I had this pretty interesting, at the lack of a better word, conversation with our dear head writer today, and he got some pretty interesting stuff. Of course, the bounds that constrains my alpha spilling heart are placed, but what I can tell you guys is that for one thing, we'll have our own language. Yes, he's working on creating a language in Star Atlas, and of course, learning about this language will have impacts in the Star Atlas world.
That's
Being
big
it,
alpha, man. Big
yeah,
alpha.
yeah, I guess it is. Oh my god. Was I allowed to tell that? Well, never mind. Think that. Okay. Yeah.
This is a secret.
This is a secret, guys. No one knows about secret language, okay?
No.
But yeah, he's working on some pretty interesting stuff. And another really interesting stuff is that Star Atlas will have its own logic for the different races. Because one thing that pains me whenever I play a sci-fi game is that the aliens are really human-like, you know? Like they have male and female genders, as our dear community member pointed out for us today. They have very human emotions and logics, and I'm sure that's something that our head writer is having a lots of fun building for us. Like really interesting stuff that he's doing and thinking about, like the world building of the different races and cultures. And yes, he's really making this universe very rich. And another cool stuff that we are also looking for is religions. Yes, as you guys notice, Star Atlas, the posters already tells that we'll have the influence of religion, especially in the mood race, but we could see in the procession funeral of Paizu that the Sonamian race also has their own rituals, their own beliefs in terms of convictions and religion. So yeah, this will also be a really interesting feature about the universe of Star Atlas, you know? And the whole experience of Star Atlas is focused on two moments. This much I can disclose. We have the moment where we are right now, that's the age of our gaming, and at this point in the lore, our head writer already told me, this is something that he's discussing with Danny, that he wants the players to be relevant in the structure of lore. You know, like most MMORPGs, you play as if you were a single player character. Like you are the hero, like in World of Warcraft. In every single quest, you are the chosen hero and stuff like that. But yeah, in Star Atlas, we'll look forward in a way to realistically include you guys and let you guys influence the outcome of the world. This is our main line of thought. It's like where we are looking to achieve and looking to build stuff that will allow you guys to influence the outcome of the game. And previously to that, there is all this lore about the stuff that have already happened in the world of Star Atlas. And I can tell you guys that there will be many ways to, learn about the real history of the Star Atlas world. I believe that it won't be given like here's the everything that happened, here's what's true, what's false, you know. Maybe, just maybe, don't hold me accountable for this declaration, but we might see ways of us to learn about the world of Star Atlas in a gamified way. But this is something that we are currently thinking on, and yeah, we'd love to hear feedbacks of ideas on this stance. And I think I have said enough, and we can move on to the theory crafting.
Just to clarify, if you don't want our friend Jose to lose his job, don't tell anyone that you know about the language thing.
Is he sharing his check?
Guys, just to add, I think your jobs might be safe because I'm pretty sure slight mention of this was made either in Foundation or on one of the town halls. So it's slight. Well, maybe not as much as you told us, but but it's not that you told us everything that wasn't kind of
Yeah,
alluded
man,
to.
I even didn't disclose the logic behind it.
Yeah, yeah.
Joke.
Because besides,
And don't do that now, joking. What?
we started this conversation saying how astute and intelligent and smart this community is. If you give us 1% of the story, we figure out the other 99%. We are not dumb. I think at least some of us are not.
That is
So
true.
we can figure it out. So don't give us anything, or we'll figure it out. I just need one little leak, and I finish the essay story. That's all I need.
Yeah, I can't let you do that, man. So yeah, I'll stop right here. I think we can start a theory crafting, and without my alpha leaking from my big nuts beak.
You got to remember too that it can change dramatically before it comes out anyway. So
Yes, please, guys, know that everything that I'm telling you guys right now, it's as we envision it. It will go through a whole process of revision and word building, and yeah, this is pretty much just the ideas, the primordial ideas of what we are doing. So it's subject to change, and this is not financial advice, and every single warning that I can give you guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Uh, we have hinted in town halls that we will have something else, but
Movie, movie, movie,
no, 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 no.
movie.
That's all I can say.
And he's trying to bait you just as they baited me.
Yes. That's
Well,
all I
you
can
haven't
say.
seen
Don't
the
lose your
Chinese
job as
version.
well.
I mean, the China already has like Star Atlas copyrights, and they gave them to themselves, just like the Usto King. And they're probably gonna make a movie.
Who?
Hopefully they
What?
don't.
China makes movies about
Oh, what?
anything, and they infringe on copyrights all the time. So I mean, but they're gonna
So we
produce a
move to
movie.
theory crafting. We move to theory
Yeah,
crafting.
let's move to theory crafting. It's safer for us.
yeah, I wouldn't touch that subject.
Too
Oh,
controversial. Okay, let's keep it fictional.
Yeah.
okay, guys, so tell me, what are your favorite theories about Star Atlas right now?
Is she a girl? Is she a girl? You call him three guys and then you say a girl. So I don't know. I recognize that look, by the way. That's the way they look my girlfriend looks at has whenever I get paid. I don't know what it means. I don't know. I'm
Yeah, man.
joking. I'm
I
joking.
This is a really interesting theory. Uh, and yeah,
Actually, I got a question. I don't know if you can answer it or not, but
okay.
and don't if you feel like it's going to get you in any sort of trouble. I can't remember if they've gone over this in the foundation room, but is the choices during lure that you make impacted by what decisions you make, if you know what I mean? Like, can it be, do you think that the story could have many different lines of trajectory depending on what your choices are?
Man,
hmm.
I'll tell you right away that Star Atlas is like the game where your choices are most important, especially because when the game starts, we will have a full player driven content, Like, I'll give you the reasoning about what Star Atlas is about. Star Atlas is about creating tools that will allow you guys to be the protagonists of our metaverse. And every single thing that we do, we create in order to bring the most uh, different kind of personalities inside the game. So yeah, we'll have structures that permits our players to play in any way that they want.
No,
And
but I
yeah,
mean the story base itself. Like, I'm not talking about the like
we are
what we
talking.
do.
Yeah, but the point is, we have two stories: the one that already has happened, and the one for the future. The one
Yeah.
that we will start playing. And this is the one I'm talking about right now. And this is the cool thing about Star Atlas. You guys will choose how the history will unfold, in a
Yeah.
very ample form of saying that, because you guys can vote on your faction leaving the Council of Peace, for example. As simple as that, you know? So this is the kind of awareness that I was looking for to bring you while answering your question. It won't be, I believe, and this is speculation from my part, I don't know anything about that, but it won't be like choose a path. It's like you guys will decide on the path, and the word uh, that we are inserted will feel the effects of your actions, and it will react to the effects of your actions. This is
So it's open
an
world. It's open world or open
Yeah,
universe.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the main logic that that I envision for Star Atlas. I can be completely wrong right now. I'm not from the development team, and I'm not the lore writer of Star Atlas, but this is the impression that I got as a community member on everything that was released so far, when I was as a community member only. And so far, nothing has changed in my perspective about that. But maybe our head writer can clarify this for us on when he comes here with us in the Atlas Brew.
Yeah, I've said it before, but the more I hear about the lore, the more it just sounds like Stargate SG-1, right? The last seasons where they have the Ori versus the Ascended. So the Fotoli would be the Ori. They create a religion, convince everybody to go kill in the name of the religion when they're really just feeding the Ori their power. And yeah.
I wonder if it will be that simple, because I think in this way we already, how can I put it, presuming a certain kind of logic for the Fotoli. And so far, oh my god, The problem is that this newt always is thinking that he's still a community member. So I'm here sharing my own theories with you guys when I don't actually know about how this will
Yeah,
play
yeah.
out. You know?
Look,
We moved into
here's
theory crafting
Yeah, this is
segment.
theory crafting, and we are working here with theory
yeah.
crafting. But
Everything
I
that
don't
we
think
say
that the
here is
totally.
non-valid. We're just having a conversation, a cup of coffee, right? Everything can
Exactly.
change. We just,
Yeah, absolutely.
exchanging ideas between friends that like to hang around in the channel for no reason, and we're just talking about a game that we love. We're gonna love to play when it's finished, right? Or when it starts being having functionality. Is one question about the photology you were saying. I mean, you can take that idea and remember maybe the photology might end up being a species that it was misconstrued as being godlike by a segment of humanity. But who's to tell that the photology might actually be linked to a actual god? Understand? So through them, there might be like a intermediary species to another god, more godlike species that is in the far, far away future. It can be hinted on the lore that there is more. I mean, because what human would just believe another alien species to be God? That's kind of silly. There had to be some other basis. So I'm sure the Potali have lore within themselves that actually convince a lot of the humans to go into that religion. Because for all you can say about humanity, some humans are kind of smart and they can figure it out. It's like, hey, you are not a god. Okay, it's very easy to figure out. But eh,
But when you
Yeah.
get
so that's
into
it.
that, you get to a point where, you know, the smart people are working on logic, and the ones that are believing are not working on logic. And the two different parts of the brain, the ones that are working on emotion, are literally working on an inability to communicate properly. They're working on emotion. They're believing by emotion, not by um, logic. And therefore, they're allowing their imagination to carry away with them and believe that that's a god. And
Yeah, but you are referring to 21st century humans. When talking about
I
27th century humans.
I understand that. And when we're talking about 27th century humans, my question would be, do they even believe in God at that point?
Hmm. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
they
really good
lost
point.
faith and they refound God in this Potoli. I mean, it can be worked in a way.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Suhail had a nice theory about this. I love the theory that Suhail has, that it was like the faction is actually the ones who believe in her or she or whatever. Yeah.
God.
God. Yeah.
And
Yeah, because
yeah,
we don't know what happened between the 21st century and the 27th century. There could have been religious wars. Maybe humanity lost faith. There were no gods. So this is like the 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 return of the gods kind of episode for
Yeah.
humanity. And so it can be. I mean, you got 600 years that the head writer, whoever you are, can actually work with, and it has a lot of material there. 600 year span. He can do anything.
Well, I think religion is one of them things which, I mean, for somebody who's deeply spiritual, um, for me, it'll always be there. So that's one. So I don't believe that, as regardless of how far we go into the future, that it'll be completely lost. And what you'll find is those people in adversity, etc., are the ones who probably find religion more than those people who are living lavish lives and so forth, because they need something to hang on to, and that's what kind of keeps them sane, or something, just to keep them there in that moment. Otherwise they've got nothing without it. But in terms of the mud, I mean, it's not necessarily a theory, but it's a interesting way of looking at things. Is that for me, they can be looked as inherently evil in a way. I mean, if you look at politics and all of that, there's always factions who want to take control, and if you don't follow the party line, they'll basically get rid of you. And one thing is, I mean, if you look at on faction selection, for Mud territory, who is the leader of the Mud? I mean, just look at the name, Sharon Gotti Jr. I mean, the Lazio family guild will be loving this because it is a mafia originated name. One theory could be that Sharon Gotti Sr., basically, whether he actually believed in her being a deity, or simply just saw that there's this is a chance to kind of take control and monetize on this. Basically said, right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to destroy the earth, and we're going to shoot for the stars. But naturally, with any kind of these kind of bodies, you're going to face a resistance. You're going to face a rebellion. There's going to be a cohort of people who are, especially, I mean, you've got Ecos. They wouldn't have wanted to have seen the earth destroyed, so who are going to fight against this? And one potential storyline could be that Mud or Gotti or whoever, Gotti Senior, if you will, basically fought the resistance because this is what they wanted to do. And for anybody who's watched the film Transcendence, where Johnny Depp basically his entire consciousness is uploaded into an AI, that essentially could be the Usto, if you will. But maybe something went wrong during the the consciousness being uploaded, and maybe their memories, the memories of exactly what Gotti did to them, or basically did to this rebellion, were lost. So only the base remnants were kind of left in terms of that compassion and so forth. So the Ustos, you could kind of look like as children, if you will, kind of born into the into this new world and just kind of learning about it, but not really knowing their backstory, because as we've been told, nobody really knows how the Usto came about. Or there's theories, but we don't know what the actual the base or where the origination point is. Just something for you.
Just
Yeah,
love this theory, man.
and that makes perfect sense. I mean, in humanity, we always, I mean, all major physicists, they always talk about us first becoming hybrids, and then being able to transfer our minds into a type of a metaverse. You ever heard that, a metaverse? And then eventually being able to be completely immersed, so transfer consciousness into machines, and then eventually even leave the machines and become a kind of a energy species. Okay, multidimensional at that point. Okay, we can transcend that. So, but that is a natural progression for humanity. But maybe alien species, they came out with a different sequence of events. I mean, we know the future of humanity. That's where we're going. Okay, AI, becoming more energy, becoming being able to find out what life and consciousness, and being able to transfer it, and being able to travel across the universe. But all the species, they might have done it differently. Okay, so the Ustor, I think the Ustor are an open box. How did they become like that? And I think the head writer left it open on purpose.
Yeah, we need to send a note to the head writer.
Yeah.
About this. Let us
He's
know.
listening. He's listening.
He's listening. Yeah, probably.
This is fun, man.
Yeah. Any other theories, guys? I know
I mean,
that there
come
were a
on, the
lot.
name Gotti wasn't chosen out of nowhere. Anybody who's watched anything mafia related knows that. Well, even if you look at the history, Gotti is a very, very known name.
Yeah,
Can't just be a coincidence.
It's really
The
interesting.
mafioso Gotti?
Yeah.
He's
I'll tell
Gotti
you
Jr.
guys
as
that.
well.
What poster is that mentioned in?
I'm
Sorry?
not sure if it's in the poster. I
What?
think it's in
No, it's in the
other.
faction selection.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
once you guys
And
find it,
So,
and
so
also on the signing,
is ruling
the Peacebringers Archive.
So I have a question about poster 8.
Poster 8. Okay.
Humankind is visited by our mysterious being of light, but not all is it seems, for through the power of illusion we were tricked into forming a space-based religion, plundering the planet and launching ourselves toward the stars, permanently leaving Earth.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so first of all, we were tricked. Okay, we were talking about, him being a god and him being and everything. It actually says in the poster that he's not a god because we were tricked into forming the space-based religion. So he's not a god, he's not a deity, he's another being of some kind of light. But my question is, there's no way that the planet was totally evacuated. You can't convince me that. There
So
were
what we
people left
learned,
behind, and
what,
they would have tried to follow at one point in the course of the 600 years between now and then, and in however many years it was between the time that they were visited. It doesn't give a date as to when they were visited, is when humankind was visited. We don't know if the posters are in sequential order as far as time goes. So there's a lot to theory craft around this one poster that can just go crazy. And
Yeah.
we can come up with a lot of stuff that, because it does say he was not a god. It proves in the poster that it wasn't a god and that it shouldn't have been religiously oriented.
so
Because
Drop
I think
something that will blow your mind right now.
we know that Ahura is the rogue Fotoli, which is mentioned, previously and afterwards in other places. So yeah, 100% agree that he's not a deity. He's just rogue Fotoli who's just causing mischief, if you will. Why
Mhm.
is a question mark, whether he just likes causing chaos or whether he's got
an ulterior motive.
yeah.
That's
But because he's a rogue, he clearly
even
doesn't
before this
follow.
analysis, guys, there is something that's really important when we read and learn the lore by the posters. I don't know if anyone else noted this small detail, but every poster starts with quotation marks. What does this mean?
So it's being narrated by somebody.
Yes.
Yes. And
But
when
this one doesn't have quotation marks in it.
it does. It does. And when someone's narrating something, one is expressing his own point of view. So another, and maybe the most important question in all the lore of Star Atlas disclosed at this moment is, who is telling us this tale? You know?
Well, some historian somewhere.
I
Maybe.
always thought it
Yeah,
was God.
yeah, and when someone is telling us a tale, he's imprinting his vision of the facts that happen. So I guess this is a good point to. I wanted to,
Don't say and.
yeah.
No,
Because
no,
I
no.
have
I still
I
have
have
one more idea. One more idea.
yeah,
Okay,
I
One
had
more
a
leak.
question.
One more
please,
leak.
please, let's
One
question.
more, one more.
Okay.
One more leak.
From who?
You guys
Oh,
ask. Each one of you guys.
me.
Okay.
I'll go. I'll go. I'll go. Okay.
Go.
This story needs a lot of battles. It needs a lot of battles, a lot of tactics, a lot of strategy. I want to see some juicy action there, mixing the history, maybe fleet movements, maps, or something there to kind of juice up all these historical battles, especially against the Titan. The in the beginning of the wars, something that will kind of support everything else, the drama that's going on behind the scenes, and how and the peace treaty, something that we're living through, and somehow Europe and Russia can't figure it out. Peace, how peace is defined in the future, right? Because this peace already can tell you it's not peace at all. Okay, it's actually a new version of war. Okay, so I want that included. Please, head writer, whatever you are, in what dimension, God, whatever you call yourself, include it.
Has anybody thought, Council of Peace, COP, COP stands for actually cop out? It's just just a banner term saying, "Oh yeah, you know, we're I'm not going to say like NATO or whatever. Yeah, we're keeping the peace and this and that," but actually, they're doing the exact opposite.
Yeah, come to California and
COP
ask, and that's what cop means to anybody over here. It means violence.
is COP doing the narration?
Well, I don't think so. Well, actually, it depends what narrative they would want to push. Because the COP would want to probably make out that they're the you know they're nice guys, the guys who you want to follow follow our rules and regulations because we're the good guys. We're trying to keep you safe.
Wait. What do you mean, good guys?
Yeah, please don't get me started on good guys.
Well, I think Bakalu's an idiot then for joining the COP. I mean, come on, did he not learn anything from his girlfriend or wife or whoever it is being assassinated? And then they're probably the ones who did it.
No, because there was a battle that made him change his mind. Don't you remember? The one that will be written. There was a battle that actually he saw something that made him change his mind. He was suicidal. He was kamikaze. He was gonna go and destroy everybody. They killed.
Well, he
You
should have.
know who?
I mean, come on, you got the last stand. That's where everybody kind of backed off. Oh no,
But there was something that happened right towards the end that made him stop and agree into this cop thing that will become a worst nightmare. He doesn't know it. Okay, but there was a battle. That's why I say the battle has
maybe
to
they've
change.
got his child as a prisoner or something, saying, "Look, if you don't basically sign this, then you'll never see your daughter or son again, or what have you." Never know.
Sure, that's something
Maybe he meets another woman. Okay, that surprises him.
I don't think so.
It's a baby
Yeah.
sister.
Yeah, I am sure that we'll learn more about what happened between the poster number 9 and poster number 10 because, yes, it's a big leap on the policies of the Sohanian race. And yeah, from the different posters, we also can see that the Sohanian race will be a really important race for the plots of Star Atlas, right? It's
Yeah.
something really interesting for our head writer, whoever you
The
are.
real comeback.
Yeah, this will be quite entertaining. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Atlas Brew, right, Santi? I guess that
Yeah.
we managed to, have a really cool time together as a community today. And yeah, I can't wait for lore part 2 here in Atlas
Yeah.
Brew.
We are definitely going to do a part 2 of lore. I love this Atlas Brew, and hopefully we can get more info soon on lore, and then we can discuss. But yeah, I mean, I love this. It actually was one of my favorite Atlas brews so far. And well, as always, thank you everybody. We are closing now if you didn't realize. And thank you everybody for joining today. It was really fun. We love to host this with Jose. We really love it. And we love to see the discussion that it generates and all the theories and the feedback. This is really useful as well for the whole Star Atlas team. I know that some of them listen to all of these things. So yeah, thank you for being here today. This is the official end of the Atlas Brew number 6, but I highly encourage everyone to stay in the chat if you want to continue discussing. This is just the official end, but feel free to stay in the voice chat and continue talking. So, thank you everybody for joining. Thank you. A special thanks to Jose as well for being my co-host.
Thank you, Santi.
And okay, this was the Atlas Brew number 6. Power to the people.
Thank you, guys, and stick to the man.
Power to the gamers. Yes.
See you. See you, everybody.